Speak on behalf of Mary Balkonis, who is our ASAP teacher at ALT. She is an extremely distinguished teacher, and she truly deserves this Excellence in Education Award because Mary is a math wizard. You might not have known that, but she is a math wizard. And she has an outstanding ability to work with her colleagues to provide support when it is difficult maybe for them to learn a concept or even to share a concept. This year we know that it was a difficult year with regard to the fact that New Jersey has adopted new math core content standards. However, Mary was able to lower the anxiety level of the teachers she works with and help to support them. You see, because Mary ended up taking the bull by the horn. Over the summer, she worked on developing curriculum. She ended up creating binders. She then came back to ALT with all of this wonderful knowledge and then began to ensure that all of the teachers at ALT understood the expectations. In particular, though, the third grade were the most impacted by these changes. And Mary worked throughout the year to provide weekly updates for the teachers, to work on assessments to help them, but also to develop reviews for each chapter, all with a smile. So that is certainly to be recognized. You see, Mary does not come off being a know-it-all, even though she probably does, because she's very kind and nurturing in her approach with people. She ends up providing an insight as well as effective strategies to help classroom teachers work with their students, and she does this in a very quiet manner. This probably serves her very well as being a member of our INRS committee. You see, because those are a true attribute for her to have as a member of our committee. You see, because Mary ends up serving quite often as a case coordinator. And as a case coordinator, she ends up having to gather information about the students that we're planning to discuss to develop a plan. And she prepares all of this for the meeting. But another piece of this is also for her to reach out to parents, you see, because she needs to contact them to gain information as well. And while she does that being reassuring and compassionate. And many times then, the parents are just so happy that she's reached out to them and has taken an interest in their student. And she makes them feel very at ease with the whole process. That's who Mary is. Mary also could be known as Mother Nature. Because as a piece of our outdoor classroom, you see, several years ago, we developed an outdoor classroom which we call Nurture's Pathway. Mary is one of those founding members. And as a founding member, she helped to create what we have as a big part of our environment at ALT. And that is our outdoor classroom, where the students end up learning more about the environment through planting and gardening. You see, she has that opportunity. She brings with her to our meetings. She provides that in direction in the development of that classroom as well. Mary also, many times you will see her while we're out at recess. Mary's taking, in her little flock, students out to the outdoor classroom. Okay? She's working out there, gardening, she's planting, she could be watering and weeding. And you might not believe it, but kids really like to weed. So you might not see it at home, but they really, truly enjoy it when they're working with her. They're creating such a wonderful bond with an adult, and also with the other students who they're working with out there in the classroom. So it becomes a win-win. Students making connections with an adult, students making connections with one another, all with a common effort towards what we're trying to build in our outdoor classroom. She also used the outdoor classroom with her own students in the ASAP program, where they ended up having to calculate raised beds. You see, because the purpose behind that, we were working with an Eagle Scout, was to end up creating raised beds, but the purpose was for her group to divide the beds equally so that every class in the building would have an opportunity to grow something in the outdoor classroom. Well, our first grade students had that opportunity. And we know they had that opportunity because they were able to grow lettuce, they were able to grow snap peas, and they were able to grow carrots. And they all celebrated with making a salad at the end. And that was through her guidance and assistance in working with our first grade classroom teachers and students. Mary also could be known as Mother Time. Not because it teaches our students how to tell time, and not just because she teaches them the very difficult concept of elapsed time, but because she gives her time. She gives her time before school, after school, even during lunchtime to work either with students or staff. Many times you're going to see her car in the parking lot, whether it's before school or after school. And on Wednesdays, once a week, it's before school, because we know that there are students reporting into the computer room to work with her in the Study Island program, which helps to reinforce the skills of facts as well as other math concepts. And she truly enjoys working with them, and they enjoy working with her. So we know that she is committed. We know that she's an exceptional, dedicated teacher. And she continues to be an asset, not only for ALT, but for the district as a whole. She makes connections with the students that she works with. She ends up creating fond memories. As a matter of fact, I would never be surprised to see possibly a praying mantis in her room with students being invited to come in early in the morning, and it's all the chatter in the back hallway. Guess what Mrs. Balkonis has now? Students and staff bring in leaves, they bring in seeds. Mrs. Balkonis' job is to identify them. And she tells them where the best place might be to even grow them in their yard. I know that the students have conveyed to me that they love Mary as their teacher. They love Mary as their teacher because she makes learning fun. They know, when I spoke to a few, that they love working with her in a small group. They know that they learn better in a small group. They enjoy the way that she teaches them. As a matter of fact, we know that Mary teaches the content of math. However, she teaches us the lessons in life. And according to Krista McCullough, as quoted, I touch the future, I teach. Congratulations.